You cannot kill that which is already dead. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Undertaker matches. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. We'll be looking at the 10 most exciting and entertaining matches in The Undertaker's long and illustrious career. Number 10 versus Mankind, King of the Ring. Continuing a rivalry that began with Mankind's debut 2 years earlier, Undertaker and Mick Foley faced off in the third ever Hell in a Cell match at King of the Ring 1998. The result was one of the most fondly remembered and brutal matches of the Attitude Era. Foley famously took 2 incredibly dangerous bumps during the match, and audiences witnessed both men battle on top of the cell. The match ended with Undertaker tombstoning the tack-riddled Foley, putting him to rest. Number 9 versus Bret Hart, SummerSlam. In a match that featured Shawn Michaels as guest referee, the Deadman and the Hitman battled in a memorable match for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. The pair showed off their incredible chemistry, with Hart acting as an anti-American heel and Undertaker acting as, the Phenom. The match concluded with a confrontation between Michaels and Hart that ended with HBK accidentally nailing Taker with a chair. This gave Hart the win because, for some reason, Michaels decided to go through with the count and end the match. This match was one of The Undertaker's best in his early career, and the interaction between he and Michaels would lead to several more significant encounters. Number 8 versus Edge, One Night Stand. After being stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship months prior by Vicky Guerrero, Taker had already defeated Edge once by countout for the belt, but had to try again to ensure a win in a TLC match. Guerrero had also ruled that if Undertaker lost, he would be fired. Definitely some questionable decision making from management, as The Undertaker did lose to Edge and was fired, and subsequently rehired 2 months later. Oh, WWE. The match itself featured plenty of interference and one insane ladder into table spot by the Phenom, along with the high-level performance you'd expect from these two. Number 7 versus Batista, WrestleMania 23. Who remembers the streak? After dominantly winning that year's Royal Rumble, the Deadman challenged Batista for his World Heavyweight Championship, ensuring a showdown between the two would take place at WrestleMania 23. The bout began with an immediate spear by Batista, ultimately leading to a fantastic match between two of the company's greatest brawlers. The men struggled through finishes, counters, and more finishes, with The Undertaker finally emerging victorious. For The Undertaker, this meant winning the SmackDown's World Heavyweight Championship for the first time and keeping his mighty WrestleMania streak alive for yet another year. Number 6 versus Triple H, WrestleMania 28. Known as the end of an era match, this Hell in a Cell clash featured Shawn Michaels as guest referee again, and was the second year in the row Taker and Triple H faced off at WrestleMania. Undertaker had won their no-holds-barred match a year prior, though the Phenom had to be carted away by medical staff, disappearing for 10 months before returning to challenge Triple H to another match. The eventual bout was an intense back and forth, featuring weapon attacks and multiple finishes from all 3 men. After Undertaker's triumph, the trio walked up the ramp together and embraced in a rare touching moment, commemorating their time together in the ring. Number 5 versus CM Punk, WrestleMania 29. Winning a fatal 4-way to see who would face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, CM Punk gave a shocking and convincing heel performance in the build-up to the pair's fight. Though some questioned the decision to use the very recent death of Paul Bearer to taunt The Undertaker, the act worked, giving way to a notoriously show-stealing match on that year's card. In perhaps the last truly great match The Undertaker may have, Punk and the Phenom both wrestled to their absolute limits, leading to a phenomenal finish and advancing Undertaker's streak to 21-0. Number 4 versus Shawn Michaels, In Your House, Bad Blood. After their confrontation at SummerSlam, the Deadman and the Heartbreak Kid competed in the first ever Hell in a Cell match in October of 1997. The winner would go on to face Bret Hart the following month at Survivor Series for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. This bloody classic saw the men clash inside, outside, and on top of the cell, with Michaels being thrown against the metal, causing his face to bleed profusely. The ending of that match saw Kane debut, attacking The Undertaker, and giving the Heartbreak Kid the victory. Number 3 vs Edge, WrestleMania 24. In the very best of the major matches in this excellent feud, The Undertaker faced Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania 24. The lead up to the match was nothing extraordinary, with Edge acting like pretty much any standard heel, but once the two men clashed, it was clear that there was definitely something here. The bout was well paced, featuring multiple finishes and interference by Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins on Edge's behalf. Eventually, Undertaker submitted Edge using Hell's Gate, gaining his 16th WrestleMania victory and showing that he was working at the absolute top of his game. Number 2 vs Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 26. This match saw Undertaker's WrestleMania streak come up against Shawn Michaels' career, as the legend agreed to retire if he lost the battle. As the pair's second WrestleMania match in a row, this one falls just short of their first battle, but the bout is undeniably a classic and fan favourite nonetheless. The two veterans went absolutely all out, delivering multiple finishes each. Eventually, the Phenom would land a third tombstone on Michaels, putting the Heartbreak Kid into the ground once and for all. Unless, of course, Michaels decides to come out of retirement for one more match. Pretty please, Shawn. Number 1 vs Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. The ultimate showdown between two of the all-time greats. With a surprisingly standard build-up and low spot on the card, the highly anticipated clash would be the first time the two men faced off one-on-one since the Attitude Era. The match lives up to the hype, featuring elaborate entrances, fantastic pacing, a rare Undertaker floor bump, and all the exciting near finishes you could ask for. The match ended with Undertaker snatching HBK out of mid-air and dropping him with a tombstone, a classic and iconic finish to a legendary match. Despite the highest stakes of their showdown the following year, this match takes the place as the greatest match throughout Undertaker's long career.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.